Welcome everyone, it's Vapors Dragomar. It is time for another episode of Raid Shadow Legends. In this episode, the Dark Rite is nearly complete. Yes, the Dark Rite. You may ask, what crazy, mad Dark Rite is this? Well, I'm glad you asked. The Dark Rite is as follows. The Dark Rite goes like this. So, remember how I said we needed the full package here? Well, let's get down to business. I will waste none of your time explaining this excessively. But what we're going to do is we are going to upgrade this man's rank. Straight up. No questions asked. We're gonna upgrade this man's rank. No questions asked. Now, we're gonna upgrade him. No questions asked. Which leaves her upgraded. No questions asked. And him. Boom. Now, you may be asking, what is this Dark Rite I speak of? You see, the Dark Rite goes like this. We're going to be upgrading his rank all the way to rank 4. But that's not all! The Dark Rite gets better. So, you may be asking, what is this Dark Rite? You see, we need another sucker. And I've got some very bitter decisions to make. Very bitter indeed. But I've come to my decision. We are going to sacrifice this. And then we're gonna upgrade her rank. That's right. gonna upgrade. Yes. Yes. Now, if you're asking what we're doing something big. How big is big? Really big. You may ask, how big are we talking? Oh, we're talking massive. We're talking really, really massive. We are talking ultra, ultra massive. That's right. That is right. The dark right has been done. Rip and tear until it is done. Kael has reached 6. Kael has become the dark god of poison. It is done. And he takes his final ascension. Rip and tear until it is done. Rip and tear until it is done. Yep. You have no idea how far I had to go to get that to happen. But we made it. We made it happen. That's right. We made it happen. And for the very first time, this squad and rank 6 Kael walks onto the rift. For the very first time, it is done. It is finally done. Rip and tear until it is done. It is finally over. I did it. The task has been done. After literally hours of grinding, sacrificing an epic champion and one of my original clan boss poisoners, the job has been done. It has been done. Finally. Hopefully my Mortu doesn't die to the other Mortu. Mortu on Mortu combat. Rip and tear until it is done. Yep. Rip and tear until it is done. And we're gonna go back my million silver. Because I want that. Give me that silver back. And I swear, I worked hard for this. I worked so hard. And I did it. Because I knew at the end of the day, it would be worth it. And I want that rank 6 so bad. It's so freaking hard to get a rank 6. Excruciating. Excruciating. The amount that you have to farm, even just to get your first one, your very first one, is so bloody hard. To think there are people with whole teams of this. Whole teams is almost unfathomable. It's almost unfathomable. It's so hard to do. Like, seriously. serious. It's insanely hard. See how much less damage he takes from that? He's like an ascended being. Look at this. This is what, well, almost what we needed. Ah! Again, Morty comment. Gotta love it! The Dark Rite has finally been accomplished. It is done. It is finally done. Kael has finally ascended in darkness. Finally happened. It took freaking ages, an unbelievable amount of sacrifice, and I mean an unbelievable amount of sacrifice. I'm not exaggerating. The amount of food I had to grind to get him to this point today is unbelievably insane. Like, I can't even explain to you how hard it actually is to do this. It is hard. Hard with a capital H. He is finally the king of the High Elves. The true emperor of the High Elves is born. And he will lead his lowly steed, the Death Knight, out of the darkness. But we ain't done yet. Look at that damage. This is what happens when Kael fully ascends. But we ain't done yet either, because I have a shrewd suspicion if I put him in full crit, he could be a monster in the arena. A monster. Trying to train my new recruits. My recruits need help. Especially Death Knight, because remember the whole theme song and the whole thing about how Death Knight's ignored? I was only ignoring him today because I had one mission to do. And that mission was to get Kael to rank 6. Get him to rank 6. That was my goal. And now, as a trainee, he will rise once again, greater and more powerful than he's ever been before. He has finally ascended to a clan boss god state. He has finally ascended to that point. Finally. After all of this waiting, I have pruned the trash, and he is finally strong enough to lead the Dark Elves. Rip and tear until it is done. A god among elves rises, greater, more terrifying than ever before. The god among elves. Look at his damage. He is now doing... And he has lifesteal too. He will be godlike in arena and in a lot of areas of the game. I have finally done what I've intended to do this entire time. This was it. This is what I intended to do this entire time. The rest of them look higher level, but none is as strong as him, or as high level as him. He has actually finally done it. He's finally made it all the way up here. To look down and to train his compatriots in the art of unrelenting and unending war. He has finally risen to take on everyone and everything in his path, including every one of these crazy dog enemies. These Vulpines and these Troglodytes. To take on every boss in the kingdom. He has finally taken the throne among legends. He has finally taken that throne. It took me freaking forever to get him to that point. But it is about time. It's about freaking time. He finally did it. So hard to do. So hard to do. Literally took all of that resources to burn. All of it. To get him to that point. Because this isn't about the hymns. This is about the Dark Elf and Demon factions. That's what this is about. The epic clash. This is what it's about. This is what it's about. We will be fighting our way through campaigns. Eventually ascend all the elves. Because they all need help. All of them. One day, Kael will become the nuker of time. But for now, he's got to keep fighting it out. He's got to keep duking it out. He's got to slug it out in campaign until he reaches at least level 10. He's got to slug it out. And then eventually we get him to 60. That in itself is going to take an age of grinding. Guarantee it. That in itself is going to take an indigestion-inducing amount of grinding. Oh! But you see this power? This is the power of getting into that point. This is the power. To think how long this actually took to do. Oh my god. So hard. So infernally hard. one day, with luck, I will get him to 60. One day. Because he's got to lead these these dark elves. He is the leader of the dark elves. We always was, but he's now truly and completely one. He must lead by example. As king of his faction. It's finally done. Ugh. And I am finally gaining a respectable amount of silver on this account, finally. Yes, silver has not been in a good place. At all. That's what I've been trying to fix. Silver and the armor upgrades, because I have to have a whole bunch of armor upgrades just to make sure that my squad is strong enough. Lay down. Hello, Michelle. Oh my god, I have such a long time before I get him up to par though. Real talk. Greater Arcane Potion. Hellborn Sprite. Yeah, and that's after all of this grinding, and I still don't have it. Wow. Kind of incredible, honestly. That I still don't have it. Because yes, the reason I'm including the Dark Elves is because he needs to lead his faction. He needs to show them the knowledge that he's gained. He needs to show the knowledge. And fighting basically an endless war against the demons, against his own faction who's decided to take up arms against him. To show them all of the wisdom that he has learned from his enemies. He has finally come to that point. It's so hard to do this. And he looks so young too with the level 12, but no, he's a lot stronger now. I mean, a lot stronger than he was. He's now truly a king among his faction. He's showing the judge how to judge. He is showing Spider the true meaning of refined cruelty, and showing Spirit Host the courageous resolve to block all of the debuffs of the entirety of the world. Yes. Now to do the same with the other. That's gonna be so hard. Oh my god, that's gonna take such a long time. It's so hard to do this. It really is. It really is. Especially if you don't have a lot of energy and you haven't run, you don't have brutal to grind on, which we will be doing. But he needs to be in full. In fact, I think he needs an amulet to be brutal properly, because he's got to finish off the great Mortu Macabre at the height of his power. Yes. I'm also doing this for Faction Wars. Because the only way... Oh no. The only way that he can lead the faction, the only way, is if he's like rank 6. It's the only way he can lead the faction. And no, you did not see the true amount of effort I put into making this guy what he is. You did not. Nowhere close. I've been trying all day, literally all day, but I didn't show it. All day to try to make this guy what he is. This is what I did here is unbelievably difficult, and I have not shown the full extent of it. I showed you some for your entertainment. But the amount of actual difficulty it takes to actually make this guy what he needs to be is incredible. It's actually incredible. See all this silver? This is what it took to forge it. It took a minimum of 5 hours. Minimum. Artifact enhancement event. Oh, if I enhance enough artifacts. Ooh. That's big. Alright. Time to see if we can get this sucker up to where we need it to. And then I have to go grind all this silver again. That took that much to upgrade at 1 level. Insane, isn't it? Absolutely mentally ill. I'm literally using the upgrade 1 level thing to try to see if we can get it to go. Do you see how horrible this is? Does anyone see how horrible this is? Anyone see that? Does this even... This doesn't even get me, him. Wow. Well then. Well, time to keep my Kael going. Because he's got to lead his faction. He's got to lead his faction through these dark times. Literally. Like, literally, the artifact enhancement event is so brutal. To actually do it is kind of insane. Because the amount of silver you actually need. I had over a million silver, and it, like, was barely enough. Barely. And I have been grinding this stuff all day. I only just reached rank 6 in this video. You haven't seen what I actually had to do to get that money. Or this rank. You have not seen what I had to do. It's beyond stupid. I literally had to rip and tear until it's done. Literally. I'm not even making this up. Literal insanity. Like, this is what it takes to actually do this. I'm on more damage. I'm actually I am amazed that doesn't damage. I'm trying to earn back some of the silver that upgrading artifacts costs. Like, the amount that I actually have to do. The fact that these don't favor my affinity does not. I'm still trying to make back the silver. We're still trying to make it back. I'm not making this up. The silver that cost is just mental. Actually mentally ill. Like, I went all day through that level to get that silver, only for the artifact event to literally take it. I didn't even get the reward I was looking for. Which is that the champion for the fusion. Yep. The champion for the fusion is that hard to get. And it's probably to fuse one epic. That's right. One epic. One epic. This is literally what it's gonna take. I don't know what to think anymore. I literally grinded for an unbelievable amount to try to fulfill the artifact training thing. I had over 1 million silver from that. And it still barely registers with what you need to do to make this work. If you're wondering why I'm trying to kill the man-eater, is because the man-eater causes a lot of havoc. Still can't believe what it actually takes. And how much farther I have to go. Because then I have to get this guy to 60. He ain't done yet. And I have to get all these other people up to par too. Don't forget. At least I have the rank 6. At least I have the rank 6. We can take Soul Ace in that one. Because holy hell, would that be annoying. All that, we didn't get the rank 6. I'd like lose it. Alright. Okay, missions. Alright, whose armor is in most need? Honestly, probably hers. If you can't see how hard this actually is to do, it's... I don't know what's going to convince you. Because I worked so phenomenally hard to make this happen. And I still can't even reach Doom Tower yet. Still. For all that. Give it a shot, honestly. I don't know how this is gonna work, but... Of course they have like 1,000,000 upgrades. Of course they do. This will be my first time fighting Immortal. Oh, they suck. Because I literally grinded all day to make this happen. try to get him. Finally, I got him. The guy that convinced me to buy the game. Man, when I get him to 60, oof, it's gonna sting. I swear it's gonna sting when I get this guy to actual 60, not 56. That's gonna sting. All right. I mean, we're not done yet with him, but at least it's been done. It's finally been done. Kael has reached rank 6. It has been done.